Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Monday the 30th of March 2020. And earlier today we produced a video entitled Gold and Silver Prices Fall, What About Premiums? And we've placed a link in case you haven't had an opportunity to listen to that in the description box below. Now we produced that video around 11 o'clock GMT. And at the time, European equity markets were down an average of 1%. Gold was down $9, but up £2 because of the weakness of sterling against the dollar. And silver was down 51 cents or 29 pence in sterling terms. Now, we added that we felt that silver would potentially breach below the psychologically important $14 level, even though we accept that $14 has till now remained quite supportive. Well, the dollar index, spot index, was also at the time up 0.45 at 98.8, and Brent crude was down $1.91 at $23.02, and WTI crude was down 92 cents at $20.59. Now, we've decided, where possible each day, to provide a brief update after UK and European markets close, and occasionally after Wall Street has closed. But other pressures may prevent us from doing this each and every day, but we shall give it a try. Anyway, the time currently is 17:30 GMT, and UK and European equity markets are now closed. And we can see an about turn in equities compared with this morning. The Euro Stoxx 50 closed up 37 points, or 1.35%. The FTSE 100 index closed up 53 points, or nearly 1%. The DAX index closed up 183 points, or 1.9%, and the CAC 40 closed up 27, or 0.6%. Better than the 1% loss on average they were showing this morning. And currently the Dow Jones is up 463 points, or 2.1%, and the S&P 500 is up 52, or just over 2%, and the Nasdaq is up 205, or 2.7%. But we all know there are still a few hours before Wall Street closes, and anything can happen. Now, the dollar index has strengthened further and is now up 0.88 on the day at 99.24, getting above that 99 level. And Brent crude stands at $22.26, and WTI at $20.26, a little weaker again than it was, or they were, this morning. Now, gold is very marginally weaker than our morning report in dollar terms. It's now down $12 at $1,621. And silver, though, has fallen below $14, as we predicted this morning, and is currently $13.96, or down 66 cents. This now gives us a gold to silver ratio of 116 to 1, compared with Friday's close of 111 to 1. Now, published earlier today was the pending home sales index, which came in at 2.4% for February, and is more than half that of January, which was reported at 5.3%. Now, each day we have a substantial amount of economic data being published by a number of countries around the world, including the United States. But as we have said over the weekend, pay particular attention to the various jobs reports, which includes the ADP report on Wednesday, the weekly jobless claims figures on Thursday, and the all-important non-farm payrolls on Friday, though, as we mentioned on our weekly update, that one will be slightly out of date, coming up only to mid-March rather than covering to the end of March. Now, gold today has basically been weaker apart from very early opening, and silver has not been up at any stage during the course of the day, and has in fact been as low as $13.89, though it is finding support at this $14 level, but it is clearly struggling, especially given the US dollar strength. Now, at this stage, we can only see silver moving higher if gold jumps up and drags silver with it. Otherwise, we suspect the doldrums is where it shall remain for a little while yet. Now, the signing of the $2 trillion stimulus package by President Trump and other central banks undertaking to provide liquidity to the ailing global economy and financial system is providing some confidence to equity markets and has proven, in an ironic way, to strengthen the US dollar too, which is still seen as the go-to currency during a period of economic instability. In addition to what America and the UK and the Europeans have done, China's central bank has also now lowered short-term funding rates and injected cash into its financial system. Australia has announced a job support program, and Singapore has unveiled an unprecedented easing in policy. Elsewhere, Australian stocks have also surged by a record thanks to the new stimulus measures. Emerging market currencies, including South Africa's rand and Mexico's peso, fell quite considerably amid concerns about debt downgrades. A weaker sterling, following a Fitch's cut to Britain's sovereign debt rating, also helped the big dollar earners on the index. Now, the general mood amongst equity investors was that of caution, because, after all, they're left wondering if the significant steps taken by policymakers over the past few weeks will be enough to shield global growth, especially as many economists are warning of a sharp economic slump. And these economists have been further supported by the likes of Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, who have been less than, shall we say, positive. Louise Kernahan, investment director for UK equities at Aberdeen Standard Investments, told Reuters today, quote, "I think the markets want to have hope. But the reality is there is still more pain to come in the short term." Unquote. So, we are currently at the phase of cautious optimism. And over on the Richard and Greg channel, we shall be updating listeners with the latest figures, together with some hopefully interesting news, which has boosted a number of equities, particularly in the health sectors today. That video we shall be publishing on Richard and Greg tomorrow morning. Also, at some stage later in the week, we shall be discussing with controversially Greg on the Richard and Greg channel his views as to the Scottish National Party and the Welsh Assembly or Welsh Government, which is currently led by the Labour group, both calling for the British Prime Minister to call a halt on Brexit. We have no doubt that controversially Greg will have more than just a little to say about that. So watch out for that one later in the week. Meanwhile, we recommend that you continue to watch the economic data as it flows out of the United States, with particular attention paid on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell sign so that you're notified of our videos as and when they are published. Not forgetting that we do update our Richard and Greg channel every other day. And once again, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to that one too. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative. And if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe either as a free or paying member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer: Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.